Welcome back to the Quiet on Set podcast and this special celebratory episode. We've reached a milestone, Lachlan. It's been 100 episodes.
100.
100.
Wow, that's insane.
You know, I knew we would get there at some point. It would take about 2 years. It did take a bit more than 2 years, but we have arrived here. And, you know, today we'll take the time and actually look back at those 99 episodes that we've done in the past and go over some of the best moments, some of the moments we look fondly back on.
Are you saying we're doing a top 10? A top 10
What?
Best moments?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing, what I'm saying.
Wow.
And this show is also jam-packed with a bunch of big announcements that we've been holding off on for months at a time. Sometimes for some of them they've been in the works for a long time, so stay tuned. And I think we just might kick it off with one big announcement. Lachlan, what do you think? Should we do that? Should we tell them?
Why not? Let's start it with a hot little bit of gossip. That's what I reckon.
You know, we've been self-produced and self-made in a way from the get-go. This was just kind of an idea we had while we were in film school. A couple of mates that just wanted to talk about film, and it has grown into a weekly show that is kind of, you can rely on to get your film news and reviews from. And with that, we have collaborated with the biggest site regarding film in Switzerland, Cineman, to be our host for the foreseeable future. So they'll be distributing our podcast on their website. So we are welcoming a bunch of new listeners, I assume mainly from Switzerland now in the coming weeks, starting with the next show, episode 101. We'll kind of be a soft relaunch of the show in a sense, because we'll have a bunch of new ears and faces and eyes on us. And I'm super keen for this, Lachlan.
Welcome to the new listeners, I guess, in this celebratory episode.
Who are going back to kind of get a feel of what the show is like.
Every time I do this, I can see it spike on the side. Doesn't look good for the recording, but there's another one for you. Yes, this is, I guess, a big announcement from us that we've partnered with Cineman.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting to have some people that not only that we can rely on for critical feedback, but I guess they're well respected within the Switzerland community for getting information about movies, when they're playing, where they're playing, and we're very excited to be partnering up with them. Again.
Yeah, we're kind of the launching project. They do articles, they do film reviews. They, like you said, have all the showtimes for all of the cinemas here in Switzerland. It's really kind of a hub for everything film, and we are proud to be the first podcast and especially also video podcast to be featured on their site. And I guess as an extension, because we are now here celebrating the Quiet on Set podcast, this extension of this distribution also goes to the Ewan Graf podcast, where I am doing short reviews and interviews that will also be on Cineman. So our shows are gonna be on
multiverse.
Multiverse. I didn't want to say it.
You had to say it's multiverse. That's what it is. That's what it is now.
Opening up the film portals for people to stream in from different places, mainly like the cheese holes. I think a Doctor Strange-like creature in Switzerland would definitely be like Swiss cheese with the holes that it would create.
I guess also going on what you said, video podcast, for those who listen to us on an audio platform of their choice, whether that be Apple Podcast, Pocket Cast, even just a YouTube version of audio.
Your Game Boy Color, maybe. I don't know.
Your Game Boy Color? Yeah.
I don't know where they distribute podcasts.
I don't know what kids are streaming these days.
Yeah, man. No clue.
I guess we should also say that we still do a video side of this as well on our YouTube channel, where I guess we put in a couple visual jokes here and there. I'm wearing a party hat right now, and I've got a bunch of balloons that are blown up behind me. So if you want to see that love, if you want to give us love over there, I'm out of breath because that's a lot of balloons.
You did them yourself?
Did it myself. I did them
That's
while you were
crazy.
getting all organized
Yeah.
and I was off camera.
That's impressive.
And they're stuck together with nothing. If I blow air over there, they're all going to fall down.
It's a delicate situation over there.
Very delicate.
That's Cineman. Our 2 shows are gonna be over there, and you'll find them there. Nothing changes for you if you're a listener just now. It just means that our community is probably going to grow by a bunch, and Swiss people are usually quite nice. So I'm sure everyone will get along. They're quite neutral. Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
Maybe every time I say a joke, I should blow on the. This is not working anymore. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the end of the announcements. Obviously, that's really exciting. But we also thought with the relaunch of the show on a different platform, we would kind of take the opportunity to also reshape the look of our show. So I am glad to announce and premiere the new logo for the Quiet on Set podcast. For that, I guess you can see it if you're on audio, I guess, in a smaller form. On the video, we just displayed it for you. But that's not all of it, Lachlan. We got more.
More?
Yeah.
We got more?
Yeah.
All right.
We have someone very busy behind the scenes helping us out with all of the graphic design stuff that we got going on here. Jackson tinkered up a new intro for us. A special little intro.
I'm gonna act surprised, even though I've already seen it. Wow, incredible! I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, so let's cue up the new intro for the Quiet on Set podcast. We are professionals.
This is a professional podcast.
Yeah, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Hello there. Which actually,
did you
this
get
is gonna
me a
be
hat
a
as
bit,
well?
Doom in 4K.
Yes.
So I've got Doomcam. It's just a camera.
Yeah, let's go. So huge shout out to Jackson for whipping that up. And yeah,
Can I get some poggers in the chat for Jackson?
Yes, exactly. And we thought, this show is gonna be a look back onto all of the stuff we've done before, the people we've had on, the moments we shared, the times we fought, the times we laughed, all of that cheesy stuff that you could wrap.
It's going to be the ugliest podcast so far because it's going to go back to when we had some of the worst audio equipment ever.
Yeah. And I mean, it predates video. We've only ever had video for the last 10 episodes. So only about a 10th of the show as a total.
We didn't even know if we were going to fully commit to video. It was I guess, trial for the past 10 episodes, I guess. Because we're deciding now that we're going to try to go video forward. We just didn't know how we wanted to do it. So we're still playing around with it. But I guess we've decided that having a video format for a podcast, which is an audio format, talking about an audio-visual format makes sense. So
also, you can't read.
I can't read.
That doesn't have anything to do with this. I just wanted to add
I can't listen either. Yeah, nothing to do with it. You just have to out me on this one. So
I'm sorry.
Maybe this is the last episode. Maybe we're gonna fight. Can you imagine we break up on this like a Backstreet Boys breakup style?
I don't want to make more promises because maybe as a little bit of a hint for today's show, we are kind of fulfilling some of the promises we've made. I don't want to make more of them, but I think a kind of a literal fight between the two of us would be kind of funny at some point. Without context, just somewhere in the show. When
no context,
when
just
the words
fighting.
don't suffice, well, I have to make use of our fists. I interrupted you. What were you about to say?
I don't remember. Now we're just a bit pissed off that you've made me forget my train of thought, so maybe the fight's going to start
no, we were talking
sooner than we thought.
We're talking about video. I think initially we had to go to launch the video side of the podcast with episode 100, and then it just kind of happened, and
we just decided to trial it out.
Exactly. I'm getting really comfortable with it. I'm not gonna lie, it added a whole bunch of more work to the show, like countless hours that I added on top of it. So I'm really glad that we are now collaborating with Cineman now and taking the show to the next logical step, So we got a new logo, a new look, and I think the man behind the craft has something to share with us. So let's hear what he had to say.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm Jackson, the super talented artist who did the intro. Although I mainly work from behind the scenes, I've also been on a few episodes, like 6, 13, 25, pretty much anything with animation in it. So when we've wrapped this up, feel free to check them out and maybe give them a watch. Anyway, without further ado, please enjoy one of my favorite outtakes from episode 70.
And I started playing Half-Life Alyx again because I have a VR headset.
I was so close to. I do
Flex.
have one, but I haven't set it up in my room here. I have it downstairs, and I saw that Half-Life was like 30%,
We should play Beat
35% off, and
Yeah.
I should have gotten it. I don't know if it's still on sale. I might get it.
We should catch up virtually in VR. We should do a podcast in VR sometime.
We should do a podcast. I think that would be a nice milestone episode. We might do. Now, I think episode 100 might be too big. I'll think of something better for that one to do, but we might do one in the future. That sounds
Should have
really
done
fun.
episode 69. Damn it, missed out.
Yeah. I don't know if there's another funny number coming up that we could do.
Episode 420.
We could do 75. 75 is also like a milestone.
I like how funny that number is.
But all my grandparents died at that age, so that's
Jesus.
very funny.
It's a bit dark.
That is a bit dark, but I think,
Wow.
Lachlan, we were onto something there. Why didn't we do a podcast in VR yet?
I don't know. I guess why don't we? Right? I feel like
Yeah, I don't know why.
don't know why. It's the next logical step in our podcast evolution to start
Naturally.
doing these things in VR.
Yes.
Because eventually the Zuck is going to overthrow every government on the planet.
Yes.
And we're all going to have to wear a VR headset and have our life force sucked out of us. And that's how we're going to get power. That's his solution to the power crisis right now.
If we sync it up and click on this at the same time, maybe something will happen, Lachlan.
Yeah, let's give it a
All
shot.
right. 1, 2, 3, and go. Welcome back to the Quiet on Set podcast in a totally normal setting right now.
Yes.
We are here for episode 100.
100!
100!
Hey!
Yeah, episode 100. Lachlan, are you stoked?
I'm so stoked. So stoked. So stoked.
He's very stoked.
So
He's a very stoked man.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just like any other day that we're recording this podcast, but
Usually like this.
well, yeah, Lachlan
like
can't
this
grow
in
that
front
much
of each
facial
other?
hair usually.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we thought we need to make this a special occasion. So we haven't seen each other in over
In
2 years.
years.
In years, yeah, it's been years. In the last decade, actually. The last time we saw
Yep.
each other was the decade prior.
Yep.
Consider how you phrase
I
that.
agree.
But it's been a long time, so now we are in the same space. Of course, I can touch you. You're so close. Anyways, yeah, episode 100. We gotta. Okay, please go away. Don't go any closer. I can come closer. Hello.
Jeez. This is so buggy.
It's very scuffed. And yeah, there might be some surprises. We got a bunch of announcements as well that you should be very keen for. It's a lot of promising stuff. Was that the announcement?
We're selling out. We're selling out.
We're selling out. Lachlan, you look really sharp today.
Thanks,
you
man.
look taller somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you more
This
tan?
is my normal form.
Yeah,
Ah.
I never noticed how red your nose is, but
Usually, because this is usually how we do the podcast. The
this is
episodes
how
that people have
usually
seen in
you
the
look, and then
past,
it's a lot of
yeah,
work that we have to do
we
to actually appear human.
so much After Effects.
Oh, it's
used,
dude.
for the podcast to make us.
You think
look
Corridor
human.
Digital is like the channel who does effects? It's actually
No.
us. No? I don't even know how to do these.
Ah! Yeah, crazy. The world of the metaverse.
That was quite
Insane.
something. Yes. We had a lot of fun.
And again, that's only going to be usable on a video podcast.
It doesn't really make sense. It was a bit hectic.
Doesn't make
overall.
sense.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just going to be a straight cut from that, and it's going to miss that whole middle section for the audio stuff because that's going to make no sense in any kind of just someone just driving to work, listening to the podcast, going, "What the fuck is going on here?"
I think people should put on the VR headset and it's just like a wave line waveform for them if they're not listening to the video version. Yeah, thank you so much, Jackson. Thanks again for the amazing intro and the logo. We really appreciate all the work he's put in. And the times he was on the show, maybe go back and listen to some of those episodes.
He listed them all.
Yeah, he did list them all. Yeah. Are you ready, Lachlan, to jump in some of the best moments of our show?
WatchMojo's top 10 Quiet on Said podcast moments. Yeah, I'm in. I'm ready.
Right, so I think we're kicking it off with something that is already kind of cheating the purpose of a clip show already, because I think number 10 is all of the recurring bits that kind of frequently happen on the show.
The insider jokes.
Hit me with one. What is one of our insiders?
Your, I guess, crappy segues.
Yeah.
Maybe the My Friendly Neighborhood Cricket that, I guess, right now, if I listen, isn't around, which is good. You kind of know what time I'm recording, because if we're recording at 3 p.m. my time, there's no cricket, but as soon as it hits like 7 o'clock, it's cricket central here. Mm-hmm. So he was invading some of our audio, louder and louder. Dooncam.
So I've got Dooncam. It's just a camera with my Dune steelbook.
A recent one, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dooncam was featured in the new intro as well. You might have seen it from there. I think one of the bits that I'm not too happy with, and I'm glad we kind of put it on the shelf, is my wiki feed that got started pretty early on in the show, because I think, where did it come from? When we for the first few times we recorded the show, I think for whenever Kally was on for the first like 40 episodes, and Michelle as well, they came here in person, and sometimes while I was narrating and doing my terrible segues, she snapped photos of my feet, because I usually don't really wear socks, and she sent them in a group chat or to Lachlan directly. Yeah, the rest is history. That's that.
And I discovered there was a thing called Wiki Feats. I don't know how I discovered it. It was, I think I heard it on some kind of YouTube.
Yeah.
Top 10 weird websites. I don't know, some shit like that.
Top 10.
And I thought it'd be the funniest
weird website.
I thought it'd be the funniest thing just to give you a Wiki Feats page. Wiki Feats, for those of you who don't know, is just a Wikipedia page dedicated to celebrities' feats.
And they get ratings as well. I think my ratings were also pretty
It's part of that weird part of the internet.
Yeah.
So I made you a page. I added those pictures, and they got removed. got fucking removed from the site because they weren't, like, most of them were just sock pictures, and they don't take those. It has to be bare feet. And I was like, you fucking savages. Leave it on there.
We only take nudity from, I guess, the ankles down, which is weird. Just a weird thing. Funny stuff.
I do have a clip to share of this little part before we leave it. I've got a little audio clip of, I think it was a Blade Runner episode, like our original Blade Runner Roll That Again episode, where at the start of it's like basically 3 little clips spliced together. The start, the middle, and the end. At the start, you can't hear the cricket. The middle of the recording, the cricket is there. And then right at the end, I guess our noise suppression to get rid of the cricket has just become
given up,
a mess. And it is staticky as all hell.
That's from episode 33, Blade Runner, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
I think
should be. I think it's that episode, yeah.
Let's give it a listen.
Wicked. So, no, I do think Leon the Professional is a really great film, and obviously I think it's Luc Besson's one of his best. If it's not a sci-fi, it's one of his best. No, I think eyes are just used because they're one of the most human things about us.
There he is.
You can follow me on Twitter at Lachlan Thiele 1.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, bro.
But yeah, you can find me pretty much everywhere.
Oh man,
you can find that guy pretty much everywhere. That is crazy how loud it gets.
Man, it just becomes some kind of like ear and rape. Oh man, it really gets you.
When you listen back to those very early episodes, the sound quality is nothing to write home about anyways, and certainly doesn't help when a cricket
I think I was using
like a
$58 USB mic.
Yeah.
That was my original audio recording device, and it was plugged into my MacBook, which was about 7 years old. So we've upgraded since then, hopefully.
Little bit.
And the cricket is dead. Well,
The cricket
Peter
is dead?
hopefully didn't hear that, but the cricket is dead.
It's got a lot of family, I think.
The cricket is not dead. Hang on, let me put the serious camera on. The cricket is not dead, and its family has definitely repopulated in my general vicinity, and will constantly just make the clicking sound when I want to record.
Jurassic World Dominion is actually autobiographical to Lachlan's backyard. The stuff that's the main plot in that movie, you haven't seen it, that's basically his backyard. If you know.
All right. Again, you're not selling me on wanting to go see this movie. I'm still not going to go see it. I think I might just forget about it.
Good call. I was about to do a bad segue, but I'm I'm holding off on doing more or to add more.
You should
to
do a
those
bad
clips.
segue.
No, I don't want
Bad
to.
segue. Let's go. Come on.
Speaking of forgetting things, and no, wait, Speaking of not remembering to not do something. Don't you sometimes get that when you get too drunk?
Oh, always. Are we talking about drinking right now? Do I have
We
to
are
go get
talking
some
about
booze?
drinking. We are still, dude. I got something locked and loaded as well right here. But we are still on number 10. If you have been wondering, we'll get into individual clips, but this is just kind of an extension for us to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And for those of you who might have joined the Patreon at some point or saw the free episode we once posted on our main feed as well for free 65 days. We've done this little bonus show called Drunkcast every now and then, mainly for our Patreon subscribers. And which basically consisted of us discussing a film before we were drunk, watching the film with a drinking game, usually getting quite plastered, and then talking about the film post, I guess, watching it. And
not just talking, but slurring our words.
Actually, we do have a couple of clips to roll for that. So this is right after we finished the movie and we put the recording back on, and I'm having a bit of trouble readjusting to, I guess, hosting the show.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into the film, and we'll check back with everyone. That will be just a quick moment for you listening, but we'll watch the movie and see you guys later, I guess.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about our poison, though.
Oh, we didn't introduce. Oh, no, sorry. Hello back. We're not letting you go yet. I guess we're talking about what we're...
Hello back. I'm now going to use that as my... Oh, fuck, I've messed up. Hello back.
Hello back to podcast.
But yeah, that's that. There's some other films. We, for example, watched Songbird and made each other pitch possible COVID movies. So that's our next clip.
I don't remember this. Oh no, it's gonna be really embarrassing. I haven't heard this one.
All right.
If you were to pitch a COVID themed movie, what would your pitch be?
It's not me pitching it.
No, it's not you
Kally?
pitching.
We're gonna have
Thank God.
COVID. What are we gonna have?
What are we gonna have?
I don't know.
I want to have like
Okay,
the
please
whole
put a
process.
countdown clock sound effect on right now.
The fucking Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
That's copyrighted.
We're gonna have a vaccination kitchen,
shit.
aka
Yeah.
a lab,
Ooh,
and we're gonna have
yep.
Gordon Ramsay in that vaccination lab.
Oh
He's like, the clock is ticking. This is not going fast enough. You know, he's just screaming at the people for not making vaccines quick enough.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
The COVID vaccine.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna call it the Hell's vaccine. Because once you get,
I love it. I love it.
You
have been promoted to director. Michael Bay is on to produce. Martin Scorsese is also on to produce. And Gordon Ramsay's kids are also starring.
He's saying it's more than just a roller coaster kind of theme park movie. It's more than the MCU. It's actual content, a la Taxi Driver.
Ewan,
It's the next Joker.
pitch me your COVID movie.
Well, what I'm seeing is the future is online, right? We've got Unfriended. We've got Unfriended, the dark web. We've got some other Unfriended sequel probably that I don't even know about, right?
Probably.
We got Searching, actual Goop movie that just uses screens, right?
Yeah.
What about Zoom? Now hear me out. It's about a bunch of teens. It's about of teens.
No, sorry, continue.
All right. It's about a bunch of teens that are in a Zoom call. That actually never leave the Zoom call. They figure out by watching Back to the Future over and over again because they're bored how to actually use the flex compactor or compensator or whatever it is called in that movie.
Like most of the time, I have no fucking clue.
Then they create the game stock like inflation of the stock market. Actually, also in the same process, buy a bunch of Zoom stock, get fucking rich, and then they're back in a Zoom call, and it's the same thing over and over again. And it becomes an existential thing about like money with young people and influencers having so much money. Like, what does it even mean at this point? What is the separation between the rich and the poor? And it all comes crashing down as
this has become a rant about you talking about the social structure of like humanity right now.
A la Final Destination as he comes in.
I hate when you get drunk how preachy you get about this like society.
I get very preachy.
Other stuff that killed them.
Your drunk persona is the guy who's like, we're in a society.
Original pitch for Hollywood.
My drunk self is basically that stadium pic of the guy holding his blonde girlfriend. It's like, let me tell you about the socioeconomical struggle we're going through right now. Let me tell you about inflation. So that was a lot. It's what you generally can expect is a bunch of drunk rants and a lot of slurring in these. Not slurs, slurring. I think we have one final clip to roll from the Drunkcast.
It's actually directed by Adam Mason, man with 2 first names.
I hate people with 2 first names.
That's already tragic enough.
Jesus Christ.
I don't trust them.
Thing to point out.
Trust the meter, man.
Names. Like...
Never trust a man with 2 first names.
Hey, you don't.
He's known for such incredible movies.
Oh God.
We haven't had anything to drink yet.
Oh, I thought we were drunk in this. We're not drunk in this.
We're not drunk yet? Oh, God.
Blood River.
Blood River. Hey, there's a good pig movie now.
Luster.
There is a good pig movie.
And in the same year as Luster, Junkie. Oh, wait, no. Luster and Pig came out in the same year. Sorry.
One of his movies is called I'm Just Fucking With You.
Terrible movie.
Which is the perfect intro to preface his next movie, Songbird.
And that was Songbird. So
beautiful.
Yeah, we did a whole bunch of these Drunkcasts. One was already publicly available, 365 days, and we do have an announcement to make, So in the past, these Drunkcasts and all of our bonus content was kind of locked behind a paywall, and you could contribute, help us out with the show. But Lachlan, you want to take it away?
They're all free now. Patreon, we understand it. But really, we're in this for the fun of it. So I don't know why we thought, hey, we should put this on Patreon to make it exclusive, where we're having some of the most fun we've ever had on the podcast. So it is free for everyone on every platform to listen to. No money needed. You can just go listen to us drunk.
Yeah, go check it out. There's one we did for Songbird. There's one we did for Hobby Halloween. What else did we do? We did a whole bunch of them. We did one for Space Jam, I think.
We did a Batman.
We did
Batman one's Batman the best
Forever.
one.
The Batman one. Oh, I'm still sorry. We still have not recovered from the Batman one. I think it changed something in our relationship, Lachlan. Because
I was so extremely hungover from that one. It was I just couldn't function for I think 2 days.
Have made an error
because
preparing the drinking game.
The drinking game was every time Two-Face flips his coin. Yeah. The dude's entire MO is flipping his fucking coin. So we were drinking every 3 minutes.
Yeah, might put in another clip here. We don't have it ready right now, but for those of you, if you're listening to this, we'll queue up maybe something of Lachlan's reaction when he realized he had to drink again and again and again.
Welcome back to the Drunkcast.
Welcome back to the Drunkcast.
Okay, the thing is, Lachlan and I were gonna ask you.
One more?
Ask you, have you ever? Jesus Christ, this is the craziest. fucking start to a Drunkcast ever, because I don't think I've ever been this drunk on a Drunkcast, which is crazy because like we've been plenty drunk before. Isn't alcohol the best drug ever? Like,
it's the best free drug, but Ewan, can you know we're filming with a chase scene? Scream.
Wait, what? What's the name? Baby Driver.
Scream. I said Scream.
Scream?
Name a movie with a chase scene.
It's Baby Driver.
Scary movie.
That's a good one.
But that's that. Go give the Drunkcast a listen. A bunch of extra episodes, and there might be new ones coming in the future as well. Let's move on to number 9.
Next up on our top 10 clips. I guess I feel like that these are in no particular order, but I guess just in the order that we wanted to put them in. I don't think one's better than the other. I think they're all quite fun. Episode 29, which is the Devil All the Time episode, and it has Ewan and myself discussing Letterboxd, and I guess our love for Letterboxd, and I guess I haven't really realized, I haven't really thought about it, but we talk about Letterboxd, I think, in every episode.
Yeah.
Because we are fanboys, I guess. I mean, I don't have any of their merchandise. And I
had to change real quick, Lachlan. Because I got this Letterboxd hat, and what do you see here? What does it say? Letterboxd. What?
I love Moonfall. Oh, sorry, I'm reading a different thing. You got a tattoo that says I love Moonfall. Wow.
So,
but no, I think Ewan, out of both of us, is you're a diehard Letterboxd fan.
Yeah.
But here's a little clip of us discussing our love for the site's little details.
Let's give it a listen.
So for our next show, we that's a good question. What are we doing? What are we doing next?
What are we doing?
Always prepared.
What is what are we?
Professional podcast.
What is the fucking point of all of this, man?
I don't know.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I got really whiny, didn't I?
I don't know, man.
You ever just like wonder what the fuck we're doing? Hey, on IMDb, do you put the movies that you've watched on your watch list, or do you want to put the movies that you want to watch on your watch list?
I still hate this.
Why would I? That wouldn't be a watch list. It would be a watched list.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, is it a watch list or is it a watch list?
Upcoming watch list.
Oh, so you've seen it?
Yeah.
So where on IMDb do I log the films that I've watched?
You don't get to log. That's why Letterboxd is so great.
Exactly.
Why not?
Exactly.
Why not?
Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. Letterboxd is the best.
There's no point.
Letterboxd is literally the best social media. That's why they weren't talking about it in the social dilemma.
Literally.
Letterboxd is not a problem.
Yeah.
You can use it as much as you want.
Literally.
That's why they didn't talk about Letterboxd in the social dilemma.
You can hear me die there. I literally collapsed and hit my table.
Poor Letterboxd, like... I mean, I guess not for Letterboxd. They're kind of just like, yeah, we're fucking winning here. Here's like Facebook having a complete data leak, and they're just like, hey, do you guys know that we changed the Portrait of a Lady on Fire stars to fire emojis? Look at us go. And everyone goes insane.
Everyone loses it.
But Facebook removes the poke function and everyone loses their shit.
Right, that was back when Facebook removed the poke function. Crazy enough, when was that? What was that, episode 29? We released that episode on October 9th, 2020. And I wanted to say this at the start. Because obviously we've done 99 episodes prior to this one. Our first episode launched on the 23rd of Jan, 2020. So we've been doing this for 2 years and a bit at this point.
Yeah.
So we're veterans. No, we're not.
We're a professional podcast, as you like to say.
But it's crazy to see like our evolution of the podcast as well.
Sure.
We've gone through so many different, I guess, formats and formulas of how we want the show to roll. I mean, we had the Roll That Again episodes. We've had these ranked episodes. We've got these deep dives. I mean, do you have a personal favorite that comes to mind?
I always really like when I get to talk about really a lot of movies. So
you could have just finished that sentence you're in. I really like when I get the talk. Full stop.
Fair enough. It's kind of true. But talk about festival films. You know, the one episode where we had guests on sometimes. I think I really enjoyed one of our most popular episodes as well for Synecdoche, New York. Where we had Brother Bro and the Oscar expert on. That was one of our funniest episodes. It had a good energy the whole way through. We got into the depth of the film, but also we're cracking jokes the whole time. It's just a pleasant one to also re-listen. So I think that's one of my favorites. To quote Mr. Beast, I think my favorite episode, or like the favorite thing I created, is always the latest one. Because like, why would you publish something? No, that's I think it's a cool sentiment to have. Like, you know, why would you keep creating if you're not growing and going through? I think this is, I guess, like you said, it's like something that we could have said at the start, but I guess it fits here as well. We went through most of our episodes trying to find some clips that would kind of represent the show as a whole for the last 99 episodes. And what I noticed is how bad the start was and how far we've come as well. I think especially the first 19 episodes are really unlistenable, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're terrible.
And they're really bad.
Oh man, they're so bad.
And then it kind of gets better. So it's great to, like, about a fifth way in, we at least had some bits down. And then I think which is a long way in, but by episode 70, 75, I think we are slowly like really getting the grip for what we actually want the show to be and get more consistency. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with where we're going, where we're coming from, and yeah, it's so much fun to look back to reminisce a bit in the past.
I think I've got a couple episodes that are quite close to my heart, and there's a few episodes I wouldn't mind wanting to do again, or at least explore. A couple episodes as well. I think for me, I have a little soft spot for my IMDb list. I've always loved those two episodes because it was fun to explore what people consider on IMDb to be the greatest 100 movies of all time.
Exactly.
And I think we should do it again, but with Letterboxd. I think that would be an update, but with Letterboxd. And
exactly, Letterboxd.
I think as well, I mean, there's a number of films that I think we breezed past that we should have spent a little bit more time on. I think recently I would have loved to spend a bit more time on Everything Everywhere All at Once and The Northman, because we kind of squeezed both of those reviews into one episode. And I do think that so far this year we've had some wicked movies come out. But yeah, I mean, we can always come back. We can always do a Roll That Again episode or podcast about those, because that's not totally dead in the water. But
exactly.
Yeah.
When it comes to maybe shows that we could do again, 11th or 13th, I can't remember exactly which one it was, episode about our favorite films is overdue for an update as well. And I think it will kind of fit with the new people maybe tuning in right now from Cineman, kind of saying, kind of checking out what we had in store before, to give them a little bit of an update. Maybe even next week, or maybe in a week to come, we'll do a little segment on our favorite films. I think that would be fun to revisit that. Speaking of things that we kind of did for a while, you know, I like to kind of throw you into cold water sometimes, and I always thought that you can come up with stuff right on the spot. Sometimes you're quite good with spontaneous bits. So for a long time, this was a tried and true statement of the show to ask you to sum up a movie in a spoilery fashion before we actually share our spoiler thoughts on it. And I think it is best highlighted in this next clip, which had you summing up the trial of the Chicago 7 from episode 32.
Oh god, I remember it, and it's so bad.
Lachlan, sum up the movie for us. We want to get that sweet summary.
So, 7
cricket's
dudes,
back, baby.
6 white,
the cricket.
1 black.
It's seven white dudes.
7 white dudes, 8 dudes.
I can't even figure out how many people are in the movie.
I don't know. I can't remember this fucking film. I watched this 2 weeks ago, dude.
I watched it a month ago.
I watched it a few days ago.
I watched it 2 years ago.
A bunch of guys with a non-specific number are arrested and put on trial.
I think I'm summarizing the wrong movie here.
Judge, who's a dick. Not just a dick to all of them, but just a dick specifically to the black guy, which sucks. And we get to that later when he gets gagged, but then he's forgotten about, because that's pretty much what happens with his character. He's pretty much like it's like, oh, he matters, and then he gets treated terribly, and then he does matter, and then he doesn't matter.
See, this is what happens when I don't have any kind of prep.
And then what happens is a whole bunch of court drama. I don't know. Borat's there. Robin is there from the Dark Knight trilogy, except not the whole trilogy, just the last part of the trilogy. And you don't know he's Robin until right at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, where they're like, oh, you should use your name more often. Robin.
Getting fixated on this.
Cool. So Christopher Nolan's like this weird director who does stuff like that, especially once he kind of wants to like do things like when he wants to make his own movies, then he has to make like a movie for a company. So he ends up making the Dark Knight trilogy, so then he can then end up making Interstellar, and then he makes Interstellar and Dunkirk, and everyone's like, wow, he's such a great director. Then he makes something like Tenet, which is kind of disappointing, and not gonna lie. But to get back to it, all of a sudden Birdman comes along about halfway through the film. And it's like, wow, what a surprise. I love this actor. And anyone who knows what I'm talking about, he also plays Batman in like a previous Batman film. And then there's that guy from the Harry Potter spin-off that's not Harry Potter, but the one that's kind of like into bestiality and shit. I can't remember what his name is.
Newt
but it's like that fantastic... No, the character's name. I don't know the actor's name. What's the character's name? Yeah, what's the character? Go on, someone tell me what the character's name is.
Goldfinch. I don't know.
Goldfinch? What's the character's name?
What?
Mudblood. I don't know.
Which character are we talking about here?
Eddie Redmayne's character.
Yeah, he's Grindelwald.
No, he's not Grindelwald.
That's just wrong.
Exactly. Someone tell me the character's name.
He's
Newt Scamander. There you go. But you had to Google that because no one gives a fuck about him. Anyway, so like you got.
Am I wrong?
Robin, fake Batman.
We're in 2022. No one cared about the latest Fantastic Beasts.
Robin that's connected to
Exactly.
Batman.
Yeah.
With Newt Scamander without any magic.
Back on the
in
Batman
Marvel
thing?
world.
No.
And I think that's all of the big celebrities' names. All in all, Aaron Sorkin should just stick to writing. But to summarize the film, it had a budget of $35 million, and I think it made back $107,000. So,
all right, what a great summary.
What a great summary.
Nothing. That was terrible.
Which that was a staple for those, because I specifically also made you do them when I knew you hadn't prepped as much for the show, just because I thought it was funny, which is a really
I'm so glad we moved on since then, and you don't make me do that anymore. I mean, we could get back into it. I could write some. If I had time, I could prep something quite profound and witty.
Yes, exactly. It would need to rhyme as well, otherwise it's not acceptable. But that's that.
Exactly.
You did a whole bunch. And you know, it usually made the jumping off point into the conversation about the film a bit more lighthearted, I think, as a whole, which is also why I kind of kept doing it. But now we kind of have a different approach the way we go about it. Just maybe you notice the structure of us is usually giving you a bit of our thoughts in a non-spoiler fashion, and then all of our reviews are usually spoiler filled, and we don't rely on Lachlan to sum up the movie for us anymore.
Because I'm an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, just like Christopher Nolan. Why did you start talking about Christopher Nolan?
I don't know, man. I just got fixated. My summary of that just got fixated on certain things, and I just latch onto it and do that for a minute, and then I'd forget about it and latch onto something else. So clearly I was in a bit of a pissed off spot because of Tenet.
Exactly.
I still haven't come around to liking Tenet. I still haven't. I mean, I appreciate it, but I haven't come around to enjoying it like I have with Dunkirk. So I guess that sour taste in my mouth. I mean, how long? Trial of Chicago 7 came out in what, November 2020?
Yeah, sometime fall.
Tenet would have come out
just before,
a few months beforehand. So it would have been pretty fresh in my mind how annoyingly written and crafted Tenet was. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, because it's definitely not. I've seen bad movies, and it's not a bad movie. But it's Christopher Nolan we're talking about, so there's a different standard.
Yeah, exactly. We just did an episode like 2 months before on Tenet. I guess that still stayed in your mind somehow so prevalently. Do we want to move on to the next?
Yes, I guess maybe a little special moment, a little special mention moment. We're not going to have this as a number, but a special mention about the Suicide Squad and the fantabulous emancipation of Lachlan and Kally episode 65. 4.
It's our lifetime achievement award.
Lifetime achievement award, yes.
For Kally Clip.
Great little episode on there. Just a little special one I wanted to reference because it's the only episode where Ewan doesn't host because Ewan pulled out pretty last minute. That's what she said. Yes, funny, haha. And Kally and myself were left on our own to do this very special once-off episode, and we nailed it. You know what? And it became the Kally and Lachlan double feature of the Quiet on Set podcast spectacular episode, and it was fantastic just to vibe a little bit and, you know, just take the absolute piss out of the show notes of that episode.
I think that's we got a clip for that as well because we have a special guest appearance from our previous host Kally Clip, because she agrees with you with having that show be pretty much the highlight of her being on the show. So
I haven't seen this yet. I'm excited.
And let's have a listen at Kally reminiscing over that episode as well.
Hi everybody, I'm Kally. I was on the podcast in like the very beginning as like a reoccurring host, but then like a guest and then like a special feature, and then
and then happened. She was in memoriam.
I'm gonna share with you my favorite clip / moment from the show, episode 64, called "The Suicide Squad" and the fantabulous emancipation of Lachlan and Kally, which is the infamous episode where Ewan suddenly couldn't host his own show. I'm just gonna start the episode from the beginning. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Kally and Lachlan special of the
so much energy
podcast. I am your host.
We weren't drained by you.
Your other host.
I love how I'm giggling.
We are the hosts today. That's right. There is no Ewan in sight. No. We have complete control.
We are so happy.
I think it's the only episode where he's not on.
We are always the host. We are the main host.
We are always the host. Yeah, always the host.
Just us.
There is not a single other person who hosts the show. It's usually us. It's just us.
That's
it's
just
blasphemy. Us vibing, talking about the podcast. This is like a weird alternative universe type thing where it's like this is how the podcast would usually start.
Yeah.
Okay, Ewan, your streak of being on this podcast has ended. So
63 episodes in a row.
Like episode 64.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
He's done 63 podcasts and he's been in every single one except this one. Now, it's not by choice.
Damn.
Ewan is currently at, what is he at? Locarno, the film festival. And he literally has a setup in his car where he has his computer, his audio interface, his microphone, and he's having technical
everything. You were ready.
Big ass setup, but then he couldn't use
it. Recording studio in his car. He went through the effort, but however, he has technical diffities.
I know why that was like now.
Kally,
I can fix it
in 3
for
words,
next time.
Ewan's setup.
Oh my lord. Okay.
3 words.
That was 3 words. Thank you for joining us.
That's 3 words. Done.
Anyway, we are on a tight schedule today. We have no idea how this podcast is going to end up because usually Ewan, even though he might hand over the hosting things once in a while, the entire outline is written by Ewan. So only he knows how to describe or how to decode what he has in the show notes. And finally, the main topic of this podcast is Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. We forgot to add the.
Forgive
that
me.
is a joke that was written in the show notes, and I butchered it completely. So let's keep up.
Ewan wouldn't have done it. Move on. Ewan has like 5 to 10 pages of show notes of what he wants to say.
Spoilers ahoy!
It's true.
What's in the show notes.
It is true.
Spoilers ahoy!
Oh God.
I'm going to put on my boat cap and set sail to this podcast. Make sure you can swim or get your swimming vest on. This is the show notes Ewan has given me, and this is the material I shall work with. If you guys
didn't have to use
the time codes will be in
I had to use it, man. It was in the show notes.
The fact that Ewan
she's pausing.
Prepare like 5 to 10 pages of show notes, and he will think of the jokes that he can like make.
Stop calling me out.
Since day one, they were the worst jokes I have ever heard. It would be like complete dad jokes, and he would have it in the show notes, and he would be so proud just reading them. Like, spoilers ahoy. and he would think that he's the funniest dude ever. And we're just looking at him like, dude, it's not working. Okay, let's listen to
it. It sometimes works, man.
And you want to just go with the flow, let's get started. But before we get into the main part of the show, don't forget to drop those reviews down in Apple Podcasts.
The reviews.
All reviews
we need
help
reviews.
Us, whether it be
always send us
a
reviews.
1-star or a 5-star, because
no 1-star, just 5 stars.
We just want to improve, but we just love talking about movies, and I don't think any of us would be here whether we have a 1-star review podcast or a 5-star review podcast. We should be making jokes about maybe like Ewan quitting, like he's on like a sababbatical or something right now.
A sabbatical.
Ewan's on sabbatical.
He's on maternity leave. Actually.
He's on
Jinx.
Oh,
I think this is where Lachlan is reading down Ewan's long list
show,
of
which honestly I wish we didn't do because Lachlan says a lot of dumb shit.
Drunkcast. I miss doing Drunkcasts.
Are you ready to get into the news?
All right.
Yes.
I don't care about the news. I will say that episode was extremely funny to record. Just because Lachlan is that anybody who has ever talked to Lachlan knows how funny he is, first of all, how he can make a joke out of every single situation. And I think in the beginning it really I consider myself a really shy person, which is why it was really hard in the beginning to even do a podcast. But his openness and humor actually really helped me to like open up and everything. So yeah, here's to Lachlan, I guess. Yeah, it was a really nice experience to be along for those episodes that I was featured on.
I'm gonna be crying in a second.
Quite a lot in the beginning. It really made me think about movies differently, and I feel like Quiet on Set does it in such a friendly and familiar way that we're kind of like inviting people to this friend group that we created, because pretty much this is just Ewan and random people he met. Like, I met him in class and he was like, so do you want to be part of this thing that I'm doing? I was like, yeah, fine, sure.
True
I'll
story.
join. It's been a wild ride. It's been like
we're like the Avengers.
2.5 years?
Yeah, like the
2.5 years and 100 episodes.
The cricket is the final enemy.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's been a really fun ride to be a part of. And I can only hope to be invited back in the future as maybe like a special guest, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be less obnoxious and know some stuff about movies. That was my favorite moment of the whole entire podcast. It was actually kind of fun just having like the podcast to ourselves. Yeah. Anyways, happy 100. Glad to have been a part of it. All the best.
Happy 100.
Bye.
Bye, Kally.
Yeah, happy 100.
That was so sweet.
Oh my gosh, that was very sweet of her. One of my favorite like parts of the podcast recently has been like when Kelly moved to Dublin and she wasn't able to do the recordings as often, was the bootleg corner, which little spoiler warning, I guess. We do have a bit of one of those moments coming up later on in this list, but it was a great way of still having her on. But yeah, I guess scheduling
happened.
Conflicts and everything. Life happened. But
like
she loved Dublin, apparently, I'm pretty sure. I mean, at least she ended up getting drunk every night. She essentially took the essence of the drunk cast and just continued the drunk part, but just forgot about the casting. So I miss her so
that's
much.
Pretty much it. Yeah. And like she said, she'd want to be back in the future, especially for the Drunkcast. Now that it's also available publicly, we'll definitely do them in the future and just have her on to hang out with, because I met her through the podcast, and we didn't know each other before we started the podcast. Pretty much, it's kind of just going for a long shot. Someone I connected with straight away in uni, and I was like, well, why don't I just ask her? she seems nice, and the rest is history.
And the craziest thing as well is that I've never been to Switzerland, so I've only ever met Ewan face to face. I've never met Kally. I've never met Michelle. I've never met some of these people that we were doing episodes with, and I still haven't. I mean, I now that the world's opened back up, essentially, I'd love to get over to Switzerland and finally have a beer face to face with my co-hosts. But yeah, it's crazy that it's been 2 years, and I guess the podcast has been a way of us still staying connected in a ever falling apart world the world was falling apart for 2 years, but like, yeah.
I mean, it didn't spawn out of that. We didn't create a podcast because of the pandemic and a way to connect.
No, yeah.
We wanted to do this before, but it also has become kind of that connective tissue between us to stay in touch. And I don't know if we would have stayed in touch, certainly not this much and on a weekly basis if it hadn't been for the podcast. So to get sentimental, because Kally started it, okay? Kally got sentimental. She was like, well, basically she insulted me and roasted herself and complimented you mainly. But
when I wake up, my first text message isn't from my girlfriend or my mom. It's from Ewan saying, "Love you, good night."
It does get intense sometimes, but
oh man,
are we ready to move on from Kally? We'll
I guess
she'll
let's
come
move
back.
on.
She'll come back later on in today's show. So dearly missed, but also revisited and certainly not forgotten. But yeah, moment clip number 7. Let's cue it up, and it's one from a episode we did on Blade Runner, episode 33, where we were, I think, just going through the whole movie, and I was kind of going scene by scene, and I have an interesting question for you, Lachlan. So let's give it a listen.
I think I remember this one. I think I do.
Lachlan, I got a question for you. After this, we got a huge tension, so we need a relief moment, right? And what's better than for relief than having sex?
Sexual relief.
So I wanted to ask you, Lachlan, would you count this as like normal sex, or is it a threesome?
Oh, for fuck's sakes, of course you're asking. All right.
Yeah, it's a big
the real
question.
question.
Of the movie. What do you think? I'm not going to ask.
Technically,
this is the sex scene in 2049, by the way.
Three people, right?
Yeah.
All right, but there's not physically 3 people there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I say that because Joy is not a real person.
Ana de
But
Armas.
This brings me to the next question.
Yeah.
Neither is Kay. He is not a real person either.
Ryan Gosling.
Can he get pleasure from that? Can replicants have pleasure? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the real question.
That is
So,
the real question. Yeah.
Is it a threesome or is it just masturbation? Because technically,
real
two of
question.
them aren't there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't count. So for me, the argument would be with Joy. You wouldn't count having sex with Siri, but like, I don't know.
Speak for yourself, then, mate.
Yeah, for me personally, it's Google Assistant because I don't have an Apple phone. So.
Alexa, suck my dick.
Alright, so that was one episode 33. I think you scared the cricket off with that for a while. That was a loud
Probably
clip.
woke up the whole neighborhood. Fuck.
Yeah, with screaming "suck my dick," which is a great quote.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's that. That was a scene. Sorry, I didn't mention it up front, but it's we were discussing the lovemaking scene between Ana de Armas and Ryan Gosling's character, and then there's another overlay of well, there's an actual person there that's hooking up with him. Kay is a replicant, and well, Joy is just a AI, and I guess that's the background for our discussion. Does it count as a threesome, or is it just masturbation? The important talk you gotta have after watching the Blade Runner films.
Let's move on. Talking about another embarrassing. I mean, is this the top 10 list of shit to embarrass Lachlan with the dumb stuff? I mean, we talk about me saying dumb shit all the time, but man, this is just a list of dumb shit.
It's a bit of that,
but look, I agree to this. I actually agree to this one as well. Oh god, I hate this one so much. First of all, I'd like to apologize to anyone who works in the world of geography that I messed up the title of a movie. I'd also like to apologize to the whole fan base of Marvel, because I feel like I'm also going to get roasted by Marvel people and anyone who can. Okay, actually, let me start again. I would like to apologize to anyone who can fucking read, because I just can't fucking read.
I can't read.
You know what? I don't even want to continue this. Can we just play the clip? Can we just play the fucking clip of this one?
Let's play the clip.
If we exclude the MCU, right, and we just kind of consider this as the next phase, right? Think of it like an Iron Man 1 with the is it the 12 rings, right? The 12 rings isn't as much of a threat as they are now until we get to Shanghai and the 12 Rings.
Mm.
Right? Now, they're definitely...
Shanghai.
Shanghai? Fuck, Shanghai.
and the 10 Rings.
Your boy's
Welcome to Shanghai,
forgetting... Your boy's forgetting the name of the movies, right?
Shanghai's a place. Lachlan.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, we're going to Taiwan in the 10 Rings.
I'm forgetting everything that's going on in the MCU.
Not just in the MCU, mate. There's also a rare appearance from Rory on that show.
Rory, yeah. Look, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I can't remember the context of that or how I even fucked up Shang-Chi. I guess because I hadn't seen it yet, and in the movie they talk about how to pronounce it like 4 or 5 times, so I learned how to pronounce it. But I think I just read it and I just went Shanghai.
The funny thing is, I think this is not the only time you fucked it up. Not in the recording.
Yeah,
but
probably. I reckon I fucked it up multiple times. Yeah,
I kind of planted the seed. I think even before you kind of said it wrong, and I didn't
pick me up on it.
Yeah, I did set you up for that.
But hey, you know what? At least it proves that in this podcast, we don't do any redos. We don't fix it in post. We just let it play out. And if I say something stupid, my God, you're all going to hear it as well.
Yes, exactly. There's not a lot of stuff that gets cut.
But no, yeah, like that's just an embarrassing moment for me. I guess this next moment is more insulting than it is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Really?
It's once again.
And moment number 5?
Lachlan is loud. Lachlan is funny, and yeah, I don't know if we want to give more context because I think the clip is pretty self-explanatory. So why don't we just give that a listen? The only context here maybe is that we used to do this thing with Roll That Again, which has morphed to be like very different things, where it was like let's look at an older episode and let's look at an older film, and it was a full episode. Or it evolved into being kind of a film raffle thing where we did a raffle on our Discord where people could just like sign up and then recommend each other movies. So this is where the context, I think that's all the context you need for this next clip. Yeah, our next Roll It Again Film Club movie will be Akira from 1988. Lachlan, I remember that I gave you this movie early on in one of our film raffles. So I'm keen to
like 3 months
talk
before.
about that one in a few weeks. And yeah, do you have anything to say? Sorry, I kind of cut you off there.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Because I don't know if I told you I never watched it.
Oh, you...
I'm sorry.
It's gonna be awkward if I tell you on air, but you and I never. Hang on, I'm just gonna walk away. I'm gonna stand over here. And I'm gonna tell you, okay?
Motherfucker! Oh, that's actually so fucking funny.
Ewan, I didn't watch your Roll That Again raffle thing. I'm sorry.
I wanna hide.
I'm sorry.
You bitch.
I'm so sorry. I'm so I still apologize.
It's
so
okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't have the heart to tell you that I didn't watch.
Yeah.
Look, I have the like special edition 4K of this.
I
because
shamed
I
you
am
into
now
spending money on it. That's crazy.
I have the special edition 4K that actually comes with a like a little novel about the creation of the film. So oh look,
my God.
I'm a big fan of the film now. Since seeing it, that I bought the 4K because I only buy the 4K for films that I really enjoy. As an example of recent ones, I've got the Steelbook for Dune and the Batman here with me, and I've got actually. You want to see a good one? Hang on, I got a good one. 1 second.
Oh, I think this is a reveal. I don't think I've seen this one. I only know about those three.
I feel like I have shown you this one.
Maybe Alien? No, Alien was the huge book you had.
But I've got the Parasite like special edition 4K as well.
Didn't know
that comes with like the black and white one. Yeah, so I've got that special one. Yeah, I buy all the special edition 4Ks for any movie that I really enjoy. But yeah.
Yeah, worth it. Well, that's a clip where I guess you fucked up a bit. And our next clip features maybe a little bit of a mistake on my end. Because it's not always Lachlan.
Mistake. I don't think it's a mistake. I think you just plainly forget about me. You forget that the podcast is a conversation,
not just a monologue,
and not just your monologue and your own opinion.
Oh my God, there's too much truth in there. That makes me uncomfortable. I love how in the show notes, because like for once it was actually like totally up to Lachlan to do like the show notes for this. And do you want to read the cue that you wrote for like the prompt that you did for this next clip?
My prompt is literally just this is what the fuck, man, just roll the clip.
Which is what I'll do, so let's give it a listen. Oh, this is with video.
And it's a video one. It's a recent one.
We should talk about with this film. I think it's pretty simple story overall. It's a simple recommendation.
You've got merchandise, and you haven't sent me any merchandise yet.
So I think we can
I'm
move
working
on
it,
to
okay?
the next film.
You want my score, or should we just move on?
I think didn't you say you gave it a 2.5 out of 5, or did you land any lower on it?
No, I didn't say what it was. You're just moving on.
Oh shit! I thought you said
you forgot about me.
You said it
I
started at a 3.5.
No, I said it started at a 3.5 to a 4, and then it got lower. But I didn't say exactly.
Oh no! Where did it arrive at? Sorry, I thought you already gave your score, and from there I took. You already. I can see it in the show notes.
I might quit early.
2.5 out of 5. I'm just
yeah, you get to see it early, but no one else gets to see it. That's why I don't write it in the show notes sometimes, Ewan.
You want to keep up the suspense. No, you want to keep up the mystery. And maybe that's what they lost in their relationship as well in the movie. So
segue.
It all ties back, and
segue.
Let's talk about some failed relationships or dating attempts. He's so confused. Movie.
Still
fresh.
He's still
frustrated
like,
by scrolling.
Asking me.
You said you didn't care, so I'm moving on. You're giving it a
no, fine. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. You should go watch it because it's entertaining, but don't expect too much. Now you can fucking move on.
I just really wanted to move on really fast to get to fresh. I'm sorry. Are you giving it a fresh or a rotten rating?
I
tried to redeem it.
I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed off. You can see my face. I'm so pissed off.
Windfall.
I'm
Yeah, that would be.
I'm giving it a Metacritic score of 50. How's that? Shove your rotten score.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Still trying to get Rotten Tomato accredited, by the way.
I'm surprised we're still together. This is a band. This is like a boy band breaking moment.
That's what you get.
I just scrolled down so I could leak yours, and jokes on me, he didn't write it down. So fuck. Yeah, fuck.
I still don't write my scores down.
He doesn't.
I try not to log it on Letterboxd, and I try not to list it in the show notes so that this never fucking happens again.
We've lost a part of our intimacy. You do not share a point score for your movie anymore before you reveal it.
Never.
And it's like I think in our most recent episode you put it in there, so I kind of I guess built back up the trust. I don't know. I think looking at this clip probably harmed us again, because I noticed in our last episode when we did it on Hustle, I noticed that you went from a 3.5 to a 4, and I said it in the episode, and immediately after I went there, maybe you can see it in my face, I realized, like, should I have said that? Is that something I can reveal? Is this information I'm able to leak, or is it gonna get mad again? so yeah, that's
once again.
This might be one of my favorite episodes, one of my favorite clips from the show as a whole. I really love it, and
it's not one of mine. I'm still fucking pissed off about. But no, you know what? Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on for the sake of our friendship, our well-being, and I guess to a moment that we love.
Got mad at someone else.
Mad at someone else. Maybe that's why she's no longer on the podcast, because of this fucking bootleg corner that she did.
Let's cue up, I guess, the clip from the segment we used to do for, I think, roughly 10 or 11 episodes during the time when Kally went to Dublin for a semester abroad. She had us sent in basically poorly phrased and constructed summaries or reviews sometimes. I don't know what it was. It was really confusing about films. Sometimes stuff that she hadn't even seen, sometimes stuff that she loved. And we had to guess which movie she was talking about. And the segment was infamously called Kally's Bootleg Movie Corner.
Bootleg Movie Corner.
So yeah, feel free to. We won't leak what the movie is, but go give it a listen, and maybe you'll figure it out.
While we're listening to this again, and we know the answer this time, we're very confused while this is happening. So I'm glad that hopefully this time, just before she reveals it, we'll pause it. You can take a guess, and then we'll see if you can guess it.
Exactly, yeah. Post it in the comments over or on YouTube if you want to. I'd be interested to see what people think she was describing here. But yeah, let's cue it up.
let's get to Kally's bootleg movie corner, Lachlan. I'm pretty keen.
I'm reporting to you once again, drunk from my flat.
Yeah, she was also always drunk.
Once again drunk.
I haven't actually thought of a movie yet. Let me think of it.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what it means either. Hang on, Ewan, how do I know you haven't listened to this beforehand?
You don't, actually. You don't. But I'm no.
I guess this is when we were like, I always
3 seconds just so I
thought you were listening to these beforehand and you were guessing it, but I guess this finally revealed that you weren't.
That I had no clue. Yeah,
it's funny because it's like a 2-minute long recording, but I could feel this could also be like 50 minutes long and just like 10 minutes of it. He's just thinking of a movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to restart.
It's about semi-friendly guy
Okay. What does
with
that
a
even
super
mean?
friendly
Okay.
guy,
A friendly guy.
and they both get married. But there's this evil character that's trying to break up the first couple
Okay.
because
What
it's
first
like
couple?
against the law
What?
for them to be together.
It's against the law. I don't know.
Philadelphia.
It's AIDS.
So then they have a bunch of drinks, and the guy like changes himself, and he thinks that he's gonna lose the
I had
wifey,
no clue. It's white.
but he doesn't. And there's a lot of like musical numbers,
it's a
and there's
musical.
a lot of fighting.
Was Philadelphia not a musical?
Musical throw us
There's
off.
AIDS in it and gay people.
It did,
must
it
be-
did,
must be
yeah.
musical.
Everyone has AIDS. AIDS.
And there's like this massive animal. It's not an animal. It's okay. This is gonna be a hint, but there's like this massive baked thing in the movie.
That's a good
Yeah,
hint.
it's
I didn't
kind
pick up on that beforehand.
of,
Me
but it's
neither.
also kind of.
So I was thinking of an
social
animal the whole time then.
Okay, it's medieval. Medieval social commentary musical?
Ah.
Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
No.
I'll give you
No.
like 3 seconds.
No,
We never
Okay,
knew.
I got no clue what she's talking
this
about.
is
Was it?
typical.
Oh no, wait, that was not you saying it. That was
Yeah, you know, yeah.
I got thrown for a loop.
I guess it's a great time to pause it because
Yeah.
if you want to take a guess because we
Do take a
discussed
guess.
this forever.
Yeah,
And
there's-
all of our answers are like none of them like match 100%. We're like it's this, but there's no medieval themes. It's a medieval theme, but they're not gay. Like none of the guesses were 100% of a match with
yeah.
the drunk synopsis that we were just given.
I don't even have
So,
a guess.
I
So this
don't
is
think it
anticlimactic.
was-
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Wait,
don't know.
wait,
I
wait,
don't know.
she's
I
thinking-
she was thinking wasn't thinking much to see a movie that we actually is way harder. Based on Cinderella. That makes no sense. Yeah, I'm just drawing a blank here. You got this. Yeah, it could be. I didn't even have a guess. So no present time. That was my best possibility. It might be crazy.
But let's give a listen to what it is and post, I guess, what you think it was down in the comments.
3, 2, 1. I have no idea who directed this, but I was trying to explain to you Shrek the Second.
God, my laugh. It's crazy. Jesus.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Man, you just let an
That's so
ape loose in your room.
Talking
So
about
what,
Shrek.
I wasn't
Oh, and now in
expecting
my
that
room.
at all.
How could we not figure this out? All-time greatest
Makes
movie
so
of all
much
time.
sense. Makes so much sense.
I mean, now it
Makes
does make
so much
sense.
It just
Because she was
clicked.
Donkey. Yeah, the friends who are not kind of friends because he hates Donkey.
That was the best one she's ever done.
That was
And
the
it was-
best one.
The most annoying one she's ever done.
I don't think it was. I think you got mad at one. Or was that the one that you got really mad at after the fact? There was one reaction where like Kally messaged me after. It's like, she was like, is Lachlan actually mad at me? He seemed so pissed off because of the
I can't
description
remember
was
which
so
one it
bad.
is now.
Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. It might have been Shrek, but I think she had a consistency in how shitty she was describing these films.
Yeah.
But that's Kally's bootleg movie corner, and yeah, that's if you want to check those out. From episode 69, nice, up until I think
Nice.
episode 80 is where you will find that segment before we kind of stopped it. Maybe it would return for like a special feature at some point. You never know.
All right, I guess we go to moment number 2. And
Yeah.
this clip comes from episode 28, Synecdoche, New York, where we have a special guest, the Oscar expert. Both Justin and Cole joined us on that episode, and it was our first collaboration with the Oscar expert.
Mhm.
At this point, we have had them on the podcast. Later on, I think you guys did a Sundance.
Yeah, couple more times, mainly
Recap?
for festival stuff. since
Festival
then.
recaps. because they are, again, experts when it comes to, well, I guess one is an expert. The other one is Brother Bro.
It's just a bro, man.
Just a bro, man. Well, long story short, on that episode, Ewan got a little bit distracted. Ewan, did you want to tell your side of the story, like what happened to you, and then I'll explain what I did?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much right out of the get-go. We just pressed record, and then someone was going quite crazy outside of my window and being really loud, so I had to go deal with that. And yeah, I think you took the opportunity to
I took the opportunity to apply to become a said Oscar expert. And look, in hindsight, I should have done my research prior because unfortunately, Ewan was quite knowledgeable on their YouTube channel, and I'm going to be honest, I hadn't watched any of their content. I'm now up to date, and I do enjoy their reactions. I literally like have a Twitter feed sometimes of just like retweets of like just clips of just zooming into Justin and Cole's face, just so super cuts of those. They're super entertaining. But next time I probably would have stood a better chance. But look, just roll the clip and we can explain what happened.
Yeah, let's roll the clip.
Hold on, I'm back in a second, but there's like a kid screaming outside from my neighbors. I just gotta tell.
Oh yeah, good save from your neighbors. We know he's in your basement.
Or you either tell him to shut up or like help him in my basement.
I forgot we made the jokes about kids in your basement.
That was a recurring thing as well.
That was a very big recurring thing.
I should ask you guys, what is the criteria to be an Oscar expert?
You just call yourself that, and you be the first one to do it, and then
done.
Oh, okay,
you're the Oscar expert.
Easy enough.
Sick.
Yeah, who is it right now?
Then I was wondering, I have a quick question. Do you have an opening? Because I've got my resume here, and I was going to hand it in to you guys for a third Oscar expert.
Well, just hand it to me through the screen. You have to we have to all remember that I'm the Oscar expert. He's actually Brother Bro. It's a different name. I'm not an expert. We can't both be the Oscar expert, can we?
All right, okay.
You can be.
Well, you already tried to get in.
Ewan, you're not meant to be.
And you're
back.
back.
I'm trying to break away.
Yeah, so he says.
Okay, look, here's an idea then.
So he says,
Everyone
"I'm the
is
Oscar
trying to quit
expert."
this podcast.
I say, "I'm Brother Bro," and then you have to say whatever you are, you become, and then you're hired, and you're that.
It's the Aussie.
The Aussie.
That's catchy.
Ooh,
that is
bit salty, aren't you?
Ooh,
I mean, that is pretty catchy. Shit.
Aussie. I like that.
So yeah, that was me trying to apply to become the third member of that. I guess was going to be a trio, and I guess my name. The great thing about it is, since the last part is censored, is that you can imagine whatever that word is. Like, there's no. I'm just the Australian. Insert whatever you want.
Yeah, chameleon of a word. A chameleon.
Chameleon.
It can be anything you want it to be.
Yeah, but again, Justin and Cole, those lads have some really good chaotic energy that we absolutely loved in the episode, and we love having them on this Quiet on Set podcast. And again, they're also very talented. You should go check them out on the Oscar Experts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. About a month ago, I got to meet Cole for the first time in person in Gunn, and I can't wait to maybe see them again when the four of us, go to a film festival at some point further down the line. So, Lachlan, are you ready for the final clip?
The moment that made the Quiet on Set podcast, or I guess never made it to the Quiet on Set podcast.
Yes, and we almost didn't make it today. It's crazy. It's crazy, actually. It feels like it's made up, but it's not. It's not. It's actually not. But it's one of our most recurring bits, and that is the infamously disastrous Pixar bracket that has been recorded countless times. What it feels like, and never saw the light of day.
And to add on to what you just said, because people will be like, what do you mean today? Because obviously moment number one is the Pixar bracket. Mm-hmm. We were prepped to record probably an hour or two beforehand. We did all the checks, but when we went to go record, I had crackling issues. Ewan had to restart his PC. All of a sudden, all these issues appeared, and I fear, I don't want to say this, but I fear that if we start talking about it, my audio file will corrupt. I'm going to be terrified.
What is happening?
It always happens.
There's a bunch of clips all appearing throughout the whole 99 episodes. It's too many to find them because now and then there's rumors and whispers about the the Pixar Bracket episodes in plural. There was one that we recorded, and I think one of our cast members just didn't record properly. It was just a corrupted file. The other time, I think the first time, I wasn't really happy with the show as a whole, and it just went on for too long. That's not a big critique. If you do a bracket, it really has to be a bit fast-paced, otherwise you'll be there for hours discussing the film. And there was one that we recorded, and Lachlan didn't have time to join us. And to give a bit of context, I think he was really bummed about that not appearing because he didn't participate in it. But halfway through, we had like 5 different people on. Halfway through, Lachlan just popped into the Discord and rambled for a bit and then left again. And this is the clip where we're talking about that exact thing. And there was the clip of that actual recording is retrieved. It gets a bit meta, but I'm sure it will all make sense once I play the clip right now.
To the audience, the reason why I wasn't going to be on this episode is because I've been really busy and I haven't watched anything yet, right? So basically, I'm just going to go off what I know. For me, my 2 arguments is that the only 2 scenes, I think, that I remember from Toy Story, and that's the Woody getting cleaned up scene.
Oh, that was so pleasing.
Oh, yes. Good.
Yeah,
actually, good scene.
Good
and that is Jessie getting left by her owner.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Right? Those are the 2 scenes in Toy Story that I really remember. I didn't really connect with Toy Story 3 or 4, but Toy Story 2 is definitely that one where I was like, oof, I'm never going to leave my toys ever. And the argument for Coco for me is that I don't know anything about it. I do. I know the premise about it. I'm just going to assume that it's the correct sequel to Sicario. So I'm going to say Toy Story 2.
I loved it so much.
You know when Benicio del Toro's character kills a bunch of people? This is the sequel and it shows you where they go.
Yeah, that's everyone that Benicio del Toro has killed in Sicario.
Yes.
That's the entire plan.
That's what Coco is about. So I have to go with Toy Story 2.
So dumb.
Such a dumb argument. So yeah, we were in the middle of recording that, and we played that clip as part of our WALL-E review. I rolled that again that we did after Pixar Bracket was supposed to come out, and then we were planning to do a roll that again on the movie that won the bracket. WALL-E won the bracket, but we had audio issues, so it never
came out.
So we just
it
did
was just
WALL-E
this whole
instead.
thing is cursed.
It is just really cursed, and I think there's only one way we can finally settle this dispute. We have pissed off someone, some of the Pixar gods. I don't know who we pissed off. Maybe Mickey Mouse personally. I don't know, but I think, Lachlan, there's only one logical conclusion to the story.
We go kill the guys at Pixar.
I wouldn't go so far. Maybe I have an alternative. Let's put up a timer, 10 minutes, and we knock this one out once and for all. Settle the score and
one last Pixar bracket.
Give the people what they want, and finally give them the Pixar bracket.
Here we go again.
Here we go.
Let's do
again.
it.
Let's do it. Queuing up the stopwatch from now on, 10 minutes, and we need a winner. All right, Lachlan. Already predetermined, I think, the 10 films that are probably regarded as the best Pixar films of all time that are higher seeded.
We'll just quickly list out all of the ones that we're not including right now. So those movies will include A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, the original Cars, Cars 2, Brave, Monsters University, Inside Out, The Good Dinosaur, Finding Dory, Cars 3, The Incredibles 2, Toy Story 4, Onward,
Lachlan.
Turning Red. What?
Lachlan, I got to stop you because we do need a couple of those. We have 10. We need another 6.
Really?
We do need to select 6 of those. So I think we can count out Lightyear because only I have seen it. We'll get rid of that one.
Yep.
Toy Story 3, I think,
add
should
Toy
be
Story
in there.
2.
Toy Story 2 should be in here. It goes up against Finding Nemo in round 1.
Include Inside Out.
Inside Out is another one.
How many more do we need? How many more do we need?
We need another 1, 2, 3, 4. We need another 4.
Let's put in Turning Red.
Turning Red.
Turning Red The Incredibles 2 and
I think the one last one would for me it would be between Onward and Toy Story 4.
All right, let's do Brave.
Wait, Toy Story 4 and then no, we need one more. Sorry, I lied.
Okay, done.
Cars or Onward?
No.
What are we going for?
Okay, fine. Then Cars.
Okay, we got our bracket.
Yeah,
this is crazy. Okay, round one. We have one.
Right, so
we got another 9 minutes. Toy Story.
What we should do then,
Finding
really?
Dory.
Yeah. Okay, we're already counting down.
Wait, why is it Finding Dory? Finding Dory is not supposed to be in here. Let's refresh.
Oh no! Please tell me that it's working. Hey, Finding Dory's not in there anymore.
Turning red. Okay. So with the technical issues out of the side, let's put up Toy Story versus Turning Red. Who wins this first bracket? I mean, it's easy one. That's gotta be Toy Story, right?
I would say Toy Story. Yeah, 100%.
Easy next round. Second matchup, Finding Nemo versus Toy Story 2. Now, that's a hard one already in the first round. I grew up with Finding Nemo. It's the first movie that I can remember watching in a cinema, so I gotta stick with my main one, Finding Nemo. What are you picking?
Really, as I said in the clip, I love Toy Story 2 for those two scenes. However,
yeah,
Finding Nemo is set in Australia, and I do remember a lot of that film, and I love the memes coming from it, and all of the dubstep songs. Let's do Finding Nemo.
All right, let's go with Finding Nemo. Now we got WALL-E versus Inside Out.
All right,
that's a hard one.
It's got to be WALL-E, right?
It's got to be WALL-E. It was the winner of our last bracket. Let's see if we repeat the same things as before. Although Inside Out is a great film, I think it doesn't beat out the masterpiece that is WALL-E. Toy Story 3 versus The Incredibles 2. I think is not an easy one for me. I think that Toy Story 3 has that incinerator moment. It has a bunch of like growing up moments that don't really land as much in Incredibles 2 because it basically just continues the story and is less impactful.
Well, then,
so I'm sticking with Toy Story 3. What are you picking?
Controversial then, because as I said in the clip, I don't attach to Toy Story 3 or Toy Story 4 in any kind of way. So my pick would actually be The Incredibles 2 because I really enjoyed just the fun aspect of it. So my pick is actually Incredibles 2, which means we have to go to a heads or tails.
Yeah, heads or tails. So heads Toy Story 3 and tails Incredibles, yeah? Coin flip. Let's go. Heads is mine, tails is yours, right? Oh, that means crazy stuff.
Tails, let's go, baby.
Knocked out early on in this. We'll move on to the other side of the bracket, which is Toy Story 4 versus Coco. Have you seen Coco since, or have you still not seen Coco? Maybe that's why
I still haven't seen Coco.
You have just been cursed by the
I've
afterlife.
never seen it.
No, I'm obviously going
I have to
with
go
Coco.
with Toy Story 4.
Oh, is this not a coin flip then? Because Coco might be one of the best ones. All right, I'm sticking with it. Heads up, Coco. Tails is Toy Story 4. Let's flip it, and it's.
I'm sorry to everybody if it's. Oh, okay, it's Coco.
It's Coco, so
it's gonna be a coin flip for every single one.
Hey, at least they can't be mad at us anymore, the Pixar gods. Okay, we got less than half of our time remaining. We got Up versus Ratatouille, which is not a hard one, I'd say, but I think
Ratatouille.
It's got to be Ratatouille. Up has a really strong opening,
right?
But it doesn't really live up to the overall I guess
Up fails in, I would say, the last half of the film. I would say Ratatouille is a masterpiece from start till end. And also, without Ratatouille, we wouldn't have Ratatouille from Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is the best joke in that film.
It's worth it. There's no balloons that fly somewhere with an old dude and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay, The Incredibles versus Cars. This couldn't be easier. I hate every Cars movie. I've only seen the first one.
I hate Broom Broom.
I hate, you don't like Broom Broom. So I'm sticking with The Incredibles.
Incredibles go brr.
Yep. Go brr. Okay, then we got Monsters Inc. versus Soul. Is this actually a hard one for
you're versing a film that I grew up with versus a film that I saw recently that's a bit more, I guess, modern Pixar.
Yeah.
I have to go with my gut still and a film that I love because I love Monsters Inc. I think it's so much fun. But also Soul was really, I mean, it was good for a modern Pixar film.
Yeah, I think it's the most solid one we've gotten in a couple of years, at least since Coco, probably. So I think I'd
Can't
have to
relate.
stick my neck out and say this has got to be Soul for me. Although I do love
I'm
Monsters,
doing
Inc.
Monsters Inc.
A bit
I'm doing
controversial.
Monsters,
Might
Inc.
not even be my we only got 3 minutes more. Monsters Inc. heads and Soul is tails. Let's see where it lands, and it's heads. So that means Monsters Inc. is moving on to the next bracket. So okay, second
All right,
round.
let's speed round
Lightning
this one.
fast.
Speed round
Toy
this
Story
one.
versus Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
Yeah, let's go. Wall-E versus The Incredibles 2. Wall-E.
Wall-E.
Easy. Ratatouille versus Coco.
Ratatouille.
I'll stick with Ratatouille as well. The Incredibles versus Monsters Inc.
Oh shit. The Incredibles.
Should I just be okay? I think either one loses out to the next thing to me, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm sticking with The Incredibles.
For me, it's Brad Bird.
Yeah.
So
Brad Bird. Yeah, that's true. It's just so stressful. Okay, we are at the semifinals, and we got 2 more minutes left to duke it out between Finding Nemo and Wall-E, which might be the toughest matchup in this entire bracket.
I don't think so, because I think Wall-E is still a stronger film. I think Wall-E is way stronger. I think it's a bit more beautiful. I feel like the ocean is scary, but I feel like the space aspect to at least the setting is a bit more beautiful for every single moment. So for me, it's Wall-E.
This is a repeat of our first bracket then. It's so close to the thing like we had last time. Because I think I have a lot of childhood memories attached to Finding Nemo. But I think it's that like rose-colored glasses that you look through the Australian Ocean when you watch that film. And the other thing is just like space, and space is cool, and references. So I'm sticking with Wall-E for the sake of us having less than 90 minutes to do this whole entire bracket. So it's Ratatouille versus The Incredibles. And another hard one, but I think I'm sticking with Ratatouille and
oh god, I'm really liking The Incredibles in this one. I have to do The Incredibles.
Coin toss?
I have to do The Incredibles. You have to do a coin. I can't. I have to do a coin flip.
The Incredibles is tails. Let's have a look at what it will be. It's heads. It's heads. So that means
Ratatouille versus Wall-E.
Moves on to the final. This might have been a matchup last time as well. Could have been. Because like I remember once when we ran it back, it was The Incredibles. We got 40 more seconds to debate which one is the ultimate quite on set winner for the Pixar bracket that finally sets this settles the score for this. I'm getting frazzled.
Ratatouille and Wall-E are both incredible movies.
Yeah. You got 15 seconds until we gotta decide this.
Fuck. I'm gonna say Wall-E.
8,
I love it.
7,
Wall-E.
6, 5.
It's gotta be.
4,
it's space. It's
3,
beautiful.
2,
it's got no rats
1.
in it.
Wall-E for me as well, and again a returning champion in a sense, unofficially, but now also officially crowned.
My camera's turned off.
The best.
I've just realized my camera's turned off. No, my battery's
cannot be
dead on
true.
my camera.
This cannot be
way.
true. It can actually. This cannot be reality.
Oh my god! No way! Are you serious?
Oh my god. Oh. But we did get it in 10 minutes.
My camera turned off. I can't believe.
It's crazy.
My camera's back now. My camera turned off.
I'm wondering for how much it is. It would be so funny if as soon as like the Pixar bracket starts, the 10 minutes
if the camera was
shuts off. Something's always wrong with these recordings. But yeah, that's that. I think that's I mean that brings us to the end of today's show. We've ran through a lot of the moments. There's countless more that we could reference and play for you. be on the lookout on our YouTube channels, especially on the Quiet on Set Clips channel. If you hadn't seen yet, go subscribe there. You'll get like segments from the show, like a trailer watch or news stories or reviews separately uploaded up there, if you know, more bite-sized options. But I'll also probably have a bit of a supercut for all of the clips that didn't make it into today's show, because we went over so many moments, and it was nice to reminisce in those 99 episodes that we've done so far. So I'm still flabbergasted that just happened again with the Pixar Bracket.
I can't believe my camera cut out.
How? That's crazy. But yeah, that's that. What else do we need to shout out? Go give the Drunkcast a listen, now free over on Spotify.
Go check out our Letterboxd HQ account. Go check out our socials. We are going to be going through a refresh and redesign, obviously with the announcement of our new logo and new intro for the Quiet on Set podcast. We're going through a rebranding phase. We're going to phase 2 of the Quiet on Set cinematic universe.
I like that.
I like that too.
Callback.
Multiverse is the next phase. But here we are at the end of episode 100. Ewan, it's been a pleasure doing all these episodes with you, and I can't wait to continue to do more.
Me too. And I think if it's ever been biggest recurring thing in this podcast is as well that we have trouble ending these episodes. So I think it's really
terrible.
fitting.
Do you want to see me? Do you want to see how like held together these balloons are?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Ready?
Let's blow them away.
Ready?
Yeah.
That was actually terrible. Yay!
Nice.
Quite on set. All right, am I back on the couch? Stop shooting me, you piece of crap. On this special 100th episode of the Quiet on Set podcast, just like Hugh Jackman, we will reminiscence on the past 99 episodes and do a full Inception episode, essentially. This is very much like, did you just enter me? Where did you go? You disappeared on my screen.
I'm tickling
you. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, shit. You're just, like, glitching. I'm terrified.
You got a booger right there. I'm not saying you smell bad or anything. I think it would just help if, instead of just standing there, maybe you'd brush it.
What? What are you still doing here?
I don't know.
You know the show's over, right? Gotta go, buddy.
I guess.
You gotta get out.
Jumps out the window.